start streaming. We're doing this now.
That's why I hate you.
You the one that said
it's your fault. No.
How's it my fault?
I don't know.
Okay. Sound like you're trying to take some stuff out on me.
Sir, that is not what I'm trying to do.
I don't know. Hey folks, welcome to Press Play. We're here talking.
Oh shit, this don't match.
You got the cursing out now?
Oh.
Now that we're live?
I mean, they've heard it before.
I know they have, but that doesn't mean
hold on.
we can't take this globally with you doing that.
I don't even know if we gonna be around globally. This is the last days, man.
I mean, you gotta try, right? You gotta try.
We are in the last days, sir.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you gotta try. You gotta think on the positive.
What is my password?
This is awkward.
Shut
up. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
There we go with the news 19 minutes.
Ha! I'm there.
I'm the only one here. You don't have to yell. It's not necessary.
I'm yelling at the screen.
Okay. The screen that is not touch screen that you continue to touch anyway?
I didn't touch it. I yelled and pointed. Big difference.
Okay, yeah.
And I cursed at it.
You did. You did indeed. What are we talking about tonight?
You got the list, man?
I have 3 comic book things, but that didn't include the
I literally sent you the list.
I know.
Because you're the words man.
I know, but I wanted you to tell us. Oh, see what you did?
I didn't do it. You did that.
Saw what you did to our effigy there or whatever?
You did that.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chadwick Aaron Bozeman.
What's his middle name?
Aaron.
Didn't know. Mm-hmm. All right, great. We're talking about some comic book stuff.
Hey, you need to slide over because your stomach's getting cut off.
Good.
It's not in a good way.
Good for me. Great. I don't care. Who's up in here?
IMAX.
Edward
Sanchez Productions.
Okay.
Ask IMAX where he's from because he's saying the wind is getting scary.
You can ask him. What do you mean ask him? What? You're in the same chat as me.
I'm not.
Yeah, folks. We had to come here Thursday because Leroy's got football duties again.
Don't act like it's just me.
It is just you.
You got debate stuff to take care of?
Not really. Because I don't think we're not covering it live.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's not. I'm good.
Man.
Okay. Yeah.
I spent a lot of money on stuff this year.
Oh, are you about to back this Kickstarter?
These are all the things I backed.
I'm saying, are you about to back this new Kickstarter?
Which one?
In this thing? Oh, it was just saying how much money it's done through Kickstarter. Okay. So you're part of this money total that's been here. Yeah.
Guilty.
Okay. Fair enough. We're talking about
charged.
Mandalorian Season 2 starts tomorrow.
Yep.
So what are we looking forward to? All that kind of stuff?
Well, I wanted to talk about Mandalorian and that if Season 2 is starting. And bounce the idea off because it's a space show. You have science fiction, special effects. It's only 30 minutes. So what are you looking for?
Like 40 minutes or something.
Huh?
It's like 40 minutes or something.
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Man, them things is 30 minutes.
They're not.
A couple of them have been 40 minutes. That first one was 26 minutes, I think.
I don't think that's right.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, great.
Not right now. I don't feel like it. But
Chat, you guys are our heroes. You let us know how long these episodes of Mandalorian first season was.
So I was wondering, what are we looking for from a comparable show that would need a lot of special effects? You would need to capture an audience very quickly in a show like the HBO Max's Green Lantern.
It's not live action, though, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should have read the thing, huh? I never promised to read anything. So tell me what I should have read in this thing.
You read it right now.
I mean, you're not going to treat me like no child.
I mean,
You're not going to treat me like that. You're not my daddy. You might be old enough. You're not my daddy.
first of all, I'm not.
I mean, you old.
Shut up. While I answer these surveys.
So we know this Green Lantern series is supposed to focus on the core, right?
No. Well, the core, but did I pledge? When did I pledge that one?
Are you here or are you on the survey? What are you doing?
No, it says unsuccessful pledges, and I was like, I don't remember pledging that.
That's why I was unsuccessful. That's when somebody.
Oh, I did. That was Sanford's thing. Oh, it was unsuccessful. He should try it again, though.
Now that he's successful.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I'm gonna send him a message.
Do that later. Talk to these people.
I mean, not now.
I thought you made it seem like it was gonna happen.
No, I mean, like, you know, hey man, I was on the Kickstarter talking about things.
Yeah.
So, let's start off by this. Mandalorian Season 2 is coming out tomorrow. Everybody's excited. Excited so much that every Monday there's Mando Mondays. They're dropping toys. Hasbro Plus has their own version of Kickstarter where basically you fund a product that they have that's only going to the people who fund it. The Razor Crest is for $350. You can get a Hasbro Black Series Razor Crest, which comes with the Child, Mandalorian, Carbonite. I mean, it's very amazing what they're doing. So my question is, what is it that you like about the Mandalorian?
I like the Wild West motif.
Okay.
I like that lone gunman thing, all that kind of stuff, the Clint Eastwoodness of it. I just like that idea of this stranger walking into new towns and helping out villagers.
Like Kung Fu.
Yeah, I mean, all those kind of those one-man bands, as it were, going in and saving everybody, and everybody just missing him as he goes along. I like the one thing that I really liked about The Mandalorian is having different directors direct different episodes. I felt like that kind of made every episode feel a little bit different in terms of who directed it. Like the Taika Waititi episode, probably one of my favorites, and I thought it was great because he's so funny that last episode had humor and heart and everything in it. So I like the idea that you can be a different director and put your own stamp on the series and still add to an overall cohesion of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, since it's in space, would you like some of the same things in a Green Lantern series? Like an anthology, like each one is their own kind of righting wrongs in the universe? Kind of like with following Mandalorian, like you get each character and how they handle dealing with the threats of the universe. Kind of like they do have backup, kind of like the Mandalorian has Mandalorians, as we saw. So would you like that, or would you like a continuous arc going through the entire series? Because you kind of had both.
Yeah, and I'm definitely I don't necessarily like, depending on the show, we've talked about Supernatural before. Supernatural kind of does a monster. And other people have talked about it before.
I'm like, I don't know anything about it. I just
Supernatural does this kind of thing of a monster of the week with an overall story happening as well. And I kind of wish Mandalorian had more of a overall arc throughout the episodes, as opposed to just kind of at the beginning and at the end. So for a Green Lantern show, I think I would want like a season over long arc or whatever, and not just kind of a monster of the week. I don't think. I think I like a serial type thing of everything happening. Yeah. Okay. What about you?
I don't know. I've been reason why I use Mandalorian because one, it's coming out and it's very successful. And it seems to capture everybody's. Unlike a lot of things that are very divisive, it seems to be universally loved. Everybody's enjoying the Mandalorian. Same thing with like the Clone Wars.
So many people in the newsroom are really excited.
I don't care about them.
And use them as an example to say when you're talking about how it reaches everybody. A lot of people who are in the newsroom who wouldn't consider themselves, geeks or nerds or whatever, they really enjoy the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
We were talking about Beth. She's so excited for Mandalorian to come out. So, yeah.
We won't mention that name for right now.
I'm just saying, Anna Grace, she's excited.
We can mention her.
Okay. Yeah, but
you know why?
Bunch of people, whoever, are excited for that show to come out.
I'm not allowed to mention her name until at least for 10 days. Disgust me. That's what I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, what does the Green Lantern series need for it to? Why does it say "Hey Leto" by Quibi?
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. What you do, man?
I don't know. Because that's the old thing, but it shouldn't say that because it says something new in here.
Okay, cool. But I guess what I was saying is, what does this show need? Because Green Lanterns are not like people know what, they have a power ring, that kind of thing, but it's not Star Wars.
No.
And you would kind of need that crossover appeal that you talked about, that people like Anna Grace, they watch. And I'm not saying you have a baby Yoda Green Lantern, But that was a big part of it, the fact that you didn't know that was even in the show.
Yeah.
And now it's captured the hearts and minds, and then it also had the idea that you couldn't buy any of their merchandise until later on. So I guess what I'm asking is, what would a Green Lantern show need to have that crossover appeal to galvanize people to say, you got to watch this Green Lantern show?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, right? It needs to have a general appeal because there's a lore inherent in comic books. Because Star Wars is so big, even though there's so much lore, people just, because Star Wars is so big, people know Star Wars.
Yeah.
So they have that inherent legacy in them. Green Lantern he's not like the most well-known DC hero, right? He's not the Trinity.
Well, it's not just, well, I guess you got to break it down and say the Green Lantern Corps is a group, and they're individual Green Lanterns.
Uh-huh.
And they're focusing on, so you have the paper, which ones they're focusing on.
Yeah, so this one, putting other members of the Corps in the limelight, specifically Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Bass, Sinestro, Kilowog, and Alan Scott.
So who do you know who are Green Lanterns, I guess is the better question.
I mean, the names that I've heard?
Yeah.
I've heard Guy Gardner.
But I mean, I'm just in general. Like when I say Green Lantern, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not in the show.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it's weird that Jon Stewart didn't make it.
I have a theory, but keep going.
They also say, I've heard the name Kyle Rayner before, but he's not in it either.
No.
And they don't mention Hal Jordan. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, not Hal Jordan either. Why do you think they're focusing on this group of people?
Because I think those are, you can tell stories with them without getting too deep in the minutia and tell new stories and play with the characters. And Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are two of your most recognizable Green Lanterns. And I could see them being in the DCU as far as movie-wise. And they're holding those for like a big name. Like a John David Washington. Or Sterling K. Brown. Or Guy Gardner could be your next hot white guy of the day. I could see somebody as cool like Anthony Starr being a Green Lantern. Although I would really like Anthony Starr to take over as Captain America after he's done with The Boys. I would love to see him flip roles and not be the suicidal crazy person.
He's a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I'd really like to see him pull that off. So that's why I think they're holding off on those two.
So it's weird because they also have Sinestro in there. Sinestro generally always goes bad, right? Is he ever good?
Yeah, he was good.
Time? I know he was.
He was the greatest Green Lantern.
And then he eventually flips. Does he ever go back?
See, this is a complicated reason why I bring it up is because the Corps, they then split. So you have yellow lanterns, then there's other colors of the spectrum: red, blue, white, black.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that they can do in the series and kind of go into there. I like the idea of having Sinestro as a good Green Lantern, because in order for you to, this is the problem I have with a lot of people when it comes to movies and movie villains. You have to have enough build-up for that person, so when they go the villainous route, you're like, oh, and that's a problem that they've
That's
never
why Dark
done.
Phoenix has never worked.
Never worked.
One of the reasons. I mean, sorry, I did work in Umbrella Academy, but other than that,
Yeah. Never worked.
Yeah.
And I'm actually right. Sinestro went yellow. And that's Antoine Allen. That's exactly what you need. Perfect example. Another thing too. Spider-Man. The Green Goblin. Don't start off with the Green Goblin. Show the descent into madness. That's when you really set yourself up to have a great villain, because then you have to take that person down. And this is a friend of yours. That's why I think in the DCU Wonder Woman 84 is probably going to be a better movie, because Wonder Woman cares about the woman who becomes Cheetah. She cares about the woman who's Barbara. That was her friend. So I'm looking forward to seeing Sinestro as a Green Lantern, being the best Green Lantern, helping to train all of these other Green Lanterns and being that guy, the super cop, and then eventually it descends into madness.
So if this show is successful, then maybe it's a thing of Sinestro's like a good guy for the first season, maybe part of the second season, and maybe he turns over the course of whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But are there no other newer villains in the Green Lantern history that they could have?
There's a whole bunch of them, but it's like there's nobody.
Because to me, it seems like it's weird that you have Sinestro because he's so well known with the Green Lantern mythos, and then that you don't have Hal Jordan or John Stewart or whoever.
Well, you gotta remember, they gotta make money. So
you gotta have somebody you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you gotta have your money makers, and the two most notable, that like you said, the two people that you know is Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and we know them because of the Justice League cartoons. The interesting thing about the ones they mentioned, we know who Kilowog is. Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz are two of the newer Green Lanterns, and their stories are interesting because Simon Baz is someone who would be considered not worthy to be a Green Lantern, and Jessica Cruz has mental issues where she didn't leave the house for years, to the point where she had to overcome her fear to become a Green Lantern. She's very powerful, but how do you battle cosmic entities and help people when you yourself need help? So I think the linchpin of this is the personality. So Guy Gardner is a jerk. I'm talking huge dick. Like, and it's so interesting. And I put up a poll for Jessica Cruz, and I meant to do one for Guy Gardner. I'm trying to figure out, but I'm trying to think.
Who will cast them?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that, to me, that's the person who you're like, because Guy Gardner is cocky. He's like, I'm a Green Lantern. I'm not noble like Hal. I'm not the Boy Scout. I'm bad. I'm rad. You know, and he's really a big jerk.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, have you ever watched those reality shows and there's like some beefcake guy who's like always kind of a bully, kind of a pest. That's the antithesis of Hal Jordan. Guy Gardner is he annoys the living crap out of you to the point where Batman punched him in the face.
All right.
It's like, that's how terrible he is.
Okay.
So Bill Burr's character in The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Worse.
Okay.
So I bring that up. Antoine Allen, you're right. People love Guy Gardner. But that's one of those things where I'm looking forward to the show because I think it's something that can be different. Kind of like what Star Wars did with The Mandalorian, where I think DCU can just be like, hey, let's go out there. Let's go wild. You know, let's see other parts of the DC universe that we don't normally get to see.
And with this being live action, do we think like this is kind of them testing the waters to see how crazy they can get outside of your Flash and your Arrow and all that kind of other stuff?
I think it's going to be more or less like their answer to more Marvel's TV shows. I think this is what's going to be their.
So like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and
I don't want to say that. I'd say more like your Netflix because
Oh,
we don't
okay.
know what those shows look like.
Right.
But
okay.
we do know, like Daredevil was really good. Probably one of the best Marvel shows
Sure.
ever.
Yeah.
Luke Cage first season was good. Punisher was okay.
You don't like Punisher?
It was okay.
Okay.
It wasn't. I didn't like the take they went, but that's why I bring that up because The Mandalorian's coming out, and we need more science fiction, sci-fi things, and this is comic books, and you can't go wrong in the market with comic books nowadays. Everybody's wants their own universe.
Yeah. Do we think other comic book properties are going to follow suit? Like, we know they were talking about. We saw Bloodshot with Valiant, and that was supposed to be the start of their own universe. Do we know what's going on with them in terms of, are they still trying to make more movies?
I'll be honest with you, nobody knows unless you're like the big three. I would say unless you're actually, I would say there's 5 major comic companies that are going to go forward no matter what. Marvel, DC, whatever Image in their individual, because whoever owns each individual series. So, you have your Walking Dead. We saw Kirkman with Invincible. We know friend of the show, Sanford Green and Chuck Brown.
Bitterroot's blowing up.
Bitterroot.
Yeah.
We know, and if you move over to Boom Studios, Boom has made a deal with.
Is that Lumberjanes?
Yeah,
Do they publish Lumberjanes?
But they made a first look deal with Netflix.
Okay.
So anything Netflix sees and is like, hey, we like that, we're going to make it, they get a first crack at it. Now, if they don't make it, it can go to anybody else. So Lumberjanes is going to be on HBO Max, even though that was a Boom property.
Okay.
And I mentioned somebody else. I said Boom, Marvel, DC, Image. And you also have...
Not Valiant.
I don't say Valiant because they just dipped their toe. I would say the Millerverse, Mark Miller's comic book world or whatever, and he's the guy who created Hitman.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
He's also got a couple of things in the works.
Hit Girl.
Yeah. Well, but Kick-Ass, but
right, but that's
Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the people who are going forward no matter what. Mm-hmm. They've got stuff. Valiant, I don't know what they're going to do. COVID has really put a lot of people on their ass because you don't know what this new future is going to look like, if these deals that are still in place are going to hold up.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. Falcons leading at halftimes. Oh, yeah. Falcons are always up.
So they're not.
Yep.
Until they're not. Man.
Falcons are always up until the 4th.
Yeah. Let's see.
So, to answer somebody's question, when will we ever see Martian Manhunter? You already saw him. Henry Lytix is Martian Manhunter.
That was a man. That was a black man.
That's Martian Manhunter.
No, that was a black man.
Zack Snyder has already said Henry Lytix is Martian Manhunter, and you will see him in the Snyder Cut.
He gonna be green?
I don't know what he gonna be.
Then nah. That was just the dude from the Matrix.
Shoot, I don't know.
And the dude from the Blacklist.
Look, according to Ray Fisher, he was supposed to be lighter. So, in the Josh Whedon movie. I don't know what color he gonna be. But that's what Zack Snyder said.
Yeah.
So if y'all got a problem with that, take that up with him. But I bet y'all won't, because y'all scared of Zack Snyder. Friend of the show.
Man, one of these days. Tell me about this black thing.
The reason why I brought it up is because that's tied into Kickstarter. And I was going to
Okay.
ask you and ask the community, have you ever done a Kickstarter?
I've done a bunch of
like supported Kickstarter and done that?
I do a lot of board games.
What is it about a Kickstarter that makes you want to support it?
If it has a good teaser or trailer or promo thing that's like, this is our concept or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I kickstarted the Ouya.
I have no idea what that is.
That is a console. You know me and consoles. I love to kickstart a console. Ask me where the Ouya is.
I don't know.
Nobody knows. It lasted for a couple months and it went away. That was kind of the precursor to... What did you say?
Maybe the last one. I'm gonna screenshot that. That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, the Ouya is... it was kind of the precursor to the Stadia in terms of a streaming device that nobody ever used. But it was cheap, so whatever.
Yeah, that's a tweet right there.
I like Kickstarter.
So the black ties into the Kickstarter article.
Okay.
Read that.
I don't remember who wrote this. You find out who wrote it. I know what's this on comicbook.com? Where is this?
Comics Beat. Why you didn't read? Oh, whoa!
Because I copied the thing.
Why didn't you print the whole thing so you could see who wrote it?
Because I didn't plan on reading it out loud. I just had this so I could read this. I wasn't going to read this person. So look it up who it is.
Well, keep reading. I'll look it up.
Black, the comic series about a world where only black people have superpowers, have been picked up by Warner Brothers. Deadline reports. I'm going to need you to look that up before I read the rest of it. That was a tease. I ain't no fool.
No, where's the Kickstarter story? That's what I wanted you to read.
Oh, I thought you were black.
Black ties it. Man, read the...
You going to find that person?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now because you obviously don't do what you're supposed to do.
I never promised to read to people.
You said you was going to print all of this. Oh, man.
I did. I printed
Could've
this.
just
I didn't
clicked
print the
on
name.
that.
Yeah.
Here we go. So basically, comics have, on Kickstarter, comics has their biggest year of all time. Last year it was, what is it? What does that thing say? 16 point. Why does this keep happening?
16.9 million.
Yeah, why does that keep doing that?
Because our computer's horrible.
No, it doesn't. It's not the computers because it did. It's like trying to get me to update Flash, and I'm like, I don't need to. Flash is good.
Well, maybe on that computer up there, it might not be down here. Let's be honest. That computer's old. So yeah, what is it? 22 million this year. Still 2 months to go.
Yep.
That is pretty wild, even in COVID, that people, or maybe it's not. What I guess, what else are you gonna do?
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because I ask, why would that story not be on their Kickstarter page? I hate the internet.
I don't know.
That's just weird. The reason why I bring that up is because $22 million in Kickstarter money for comics, just comics. That's an accomplishment considering, what was it, 16.9 million the last year?
Yeah.
And you've had some big names do Kickstarters, whether it be comics or comic related property. The biggest one was Berserker, which was Keanu Reeves' book from Boom Studios. And there was some controversy about a major studio kickstarting a book when it's usually local, small time creators, people who want to do their own thing. The reason why I brought up Black is because here we can see a story that originated on Kickstarter that is now almost basically one of the biggest success stories, because it's a story that started on Kickstarter. And the cover, did you see the cover?
Yeah.
So I have all of those issues and some of the subsequent ones. I did not back it on Kickstarter. I'm mad at myself because I missed out, because that book is worth some shit. But the one that I do have is still worth stuff. And they had like X-rated, not only X-rated covers, but they had like adult covers, and then they had like clean covers, where there was like cursing on the front. And it's interesting because here's a book that started as a Kickstarter, got picked up and mass produced by Black Mass Productions, and then has been optioned to be a movie. And it all came from Kickstarter. And I was just wondering, does anybody in the chat support a Kickstarter? And would you be willing to support more stuff, comics in Kickstarter? Because Chuck Brown just had a Kickstarter go live today about some short stories he's doing.
Okay.
And friend of the show, Richard Kemp, has a Kickstarter called Don't Ever Blink. And it's basically a horror, four-issue horror miniseries that comes out. So here's just what I supported this year on Kickstarter. The Trap, which was a graphic novel from football player Lance Briggs and Kyle Higgins.
What do I know Kyle Higgins from?
He's done comics, and you've read some of his comics before.
Did we meet him?
No.
Okay.
I would remember.
Okay.
And then you have Brian Stelfreeze and Doug Wagner's book. Thomas River, Stand Still, which is a 4-issue miniseries, horror sci-fi miniseries. And we've been seeing a lot of stuff kickstarted. And is this the new business model outside of COVID? Because one of the hardest things that we've noticed is being able to go to a store, look at stuff. Is Kickstarter the way going forward, COVID-wise?
Well, I don't think it's just Kickstarter. I think it's just crowdfunding in general.
Oh, expound upon that.
Because, I mean, you have Indiegogo, you have Patreon, all these things. The people that I always talk about, kind of funny games.
Yeah.
A lot of people 3 guys who used to work at IGN, they started their own thing. They're very successful now. I think they get maybe 5 or 6 people that work under them. But they have a Patreon, and they're able to do a monthly, they sustain, I guess they've been going for 4 or 5 years now. So, I mean, I think it's just crowdfunding in general of people just backing stuff that they like. It could be Kickstarter is probably the most well known. But
Indiegogo,
Indiegogo, you
Patreon,
have
OnlyFans.
That is crowdfunding.
I mean, Bella Thorne made millions. She made the most money anybody's ever made on OnlyFans, and she didn't show any
no nudity.
no nudity.
So yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to you supporting the stuff that you love, and I guess they have found a way. Anybody has found a way to, through crowdfunding, to support whatever you love, and that money goes directly to them.
I guess what I'm asking is this the new way for creators? Would you like to see more creators do this versus you going to Target or store? Because Rayshawn K says, I was going to do the Todd McFarlane Spawn Kickstarter. I did the Todd McFarlane Kickstarter. I have been a big fan of Spawn, even though I've fallen off recently. Mm-hmm. I have Spawn. I have like multiple copies of Spawn #1. I was an Image fanboy from the beginning. Mm-hmm. When that thing launched, I paid the money. Matter of fact, they already got, it's supposed to ship in November. He's already, like, if you've been following, the Kickstarter was $40, shipping was $17. He says he's going to do another one because he could not find, and I guess the funniest thing is, this is Todd McFarlane, a man who has his own freaking toy company, mm-hmm. couldn't find a market to do a special edition Spawn figure, recapturing the magic from the original Spawn figure.
Yeah.
And he had to take it to Kickstarter.
The one thing that I don't like about Kickstarter, and a lot of times, I guess poorly run Kickstarters, the early backers are the ones who fund for everything, mm-hmm. and then if the company or whatever is successful, they sell a bunch of other copies, but the people who funded it aren't necessarily part of their profit sharing, and I feel like they were investor capital, and they don't necessarily get the profits from the excess they sell.
What do you mean?
I can't think of a perfect example right now, but sometimes when people fund something for like they're going to sell a special run of so many units,
yeah. and
then the company's like, we have enough money to actually make excess units that we can sell to the public.
Yeah.
Now the company makes all the money from those funds, but they didn't invest that initial money. The initial backers did, and they don't make any profit off of that stuff that got sold excess.
I guess I can understand that, but I guess it's almost like the risk you take, because you got what you paid for.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do like is what are they called when it gets funded, and then there's like these different levels. I'm trying to remember that you unlock.
Oh yeah, the extra tiers or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like not everybody does it.
Yeah.
But it's so one of the things I want to talk about. Rayshawn K was like the Spawn. When I originally funded it, so there was like there's a bunch of different ones, but I did Modern Spawn, mm-hmm. Not with the hamburger head. I just did Modern Spawn, and so there was modern classic, artist proof. And there was one out of those three. Then you could have done all three. Mm-hmm. So it's basically those 4 tiers and then like major tiers. Once those were funded, you could excesses were like, okay, now the swords will be real metal. The chains will be real metal. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sign everything. They're gonna have nameplates. So I like that part of it. Okay. Kind of what you were talking about is what Rayshawn K says. Nas was an early backer of Ring and made millions off it. He's right. Nas, if I remember.
Now, was Ring a Kickstarter thing?
It wasn't, but he was he was an early investor to the point where they didn't have any real money.
Right.
Like, he was the only person and then I think Amazon bought it.
See, I wish more projects on Kickstarter were like something like this, where if you do invest money into the project, and it is super successful, you get some of that profit back.
See, and
I know that's not Kickstarter.
No, it's not.
It's not designed like that. I get that.
And that's what you're looking for is, honestly, Shark Tank, because that's basically what Shark Tank is.
Yeah, I mean,
like
just rewarding those early investors.
Yeah. Personally, I like Kickstarter, and I like this. Some of the stuff that's been coming out on Kickstarter, I like to fund more of the lesser tier stuff, mm-hmm. more of the unknown. I did back Spawn because I love Spawn and I love the figure that he made, mm-hmm. and I was like, I'm in because of the way it's going to be displayed. I don't know if I'll bring it in for you guys to see, but I was in on that. But
you should let me borrow it.
Yeah, that ain't never happening.
He gonna let me borrow y'all.
I'll let you borrow that baby before I let you borrow Spawn. You lost your damn mind.
Woo! Wow, y'all heard it here first. Keep going.
But yeah, I like the idea of funding more comics and more people who are doing comics. I thought I funded more stuff than this, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'm looking at some of this money and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, you spend a nice little chunk of change on stuff.
Yeah, but I like it because, so like the Don't Ever Blink, that's Richard Kemp's book, local guy here, and then you've got Stand Still, indie guys, Brian Stelfreeze and Doug Wagner's book, another bunch of indie guys, but Brian Stelfreeze has been in the game. You probably know him for, because he was really big about doing Black Panther covers and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to doing more Kickstarters, and I like the idea of buying stuff directly from, like, perfect example, I bought Ballpoint Beauties from Frank Cho. I bought it for $34. That is a beautiful book. When I tell you beautiful, and the tiers that he unlocked, so you got cards, like postcards of Ballpoint. He sold art from this, like original art. This book was amazing. It's beautiful. I love Kickstarter for that point alone, because a lot of people were saying comics were dead. Comics, and COVID could be the end of comics, and it's like, no, it's not, heifer. We're here to stay.
Yeah, and it's maybe it's not that comics are dead, but maybe the way people take in comics has changed, right? For sure, because you talk about those 5 big companies that are still making it, but they're definitely not as popular as they were, right?
No, but I would say comics have had a resurgence, and they've sold more this year than they've done in a long time, especially considering the lull that happened and the stop in production. They've done a lot recently. I'm looking for the article. I think it's Comic Ron that actually had the numbers of, like, now the print, they're not like they were in the 90s. Like, it's not going back to there, because they were printing millions of copies of books.
That X-Men, that's not worth anything because everybody bought it. I was one of those people. I thought it was going to be worth something.
First of all, it is worth something.
Is it? That Jim Lee #1?
Yeah, it's worth something.
I thought it's like, it isn't because everybody bought it, because everybody thought it was going to be worth something.
First of all, it's worth something to whoever owns it. Now, is it worth money that you could, like, flip it? Maybe not, but it's worth something.
It's worth something in my heart. I didn't want that. I didn't buy that for that.
Well, then.
That's not what I bought it for. Actually, I just bought it because I thought it was cool. I wasn't really trying to make money off of it.
Well, that's your fault. You should have known better.
When did that come out?
90 something? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So I was in my teenage years? No, I don't know about that.
Should have been a better investor.
Yes, okay, you're right.
Should have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Art of the Deal.
Oh, jeez.
See, I just kind of wanted to talk comics a little bit. What's the book called again? Ballpoint Beauties. It's Frank Cho's. He did 2 different books, called Women, where he basically just teaches you how to draw. And the Ballpoint Beauties was his, like, magnum opus for everything that he's drawn, from She-Devil, Red Sonja, Liberty Meadows. I'm trying to think of She-Hulk, like all the different things. And he culminated into a hardcover book, which I have, that I flip through every now and then. It's a beautiful book, but he goes into his process, like how he sculpts and what he uses to draw. And it's amazing the amount of detail he puts into it, because he does, for those of you who draw or don't draw or whatever, he has this thing called cross-hatching. He's not the person who originated it, but the way he does it. And keep in mind, he does this with a ballpoint pen. I mess up my own name with a ballpoint pen.
That's permanent.
And the way he draws women reminds me of the way Frank Frazetta. They're not like stick figure. They're like voluptuous, like women you would see on the street. Women with curves, tall, short. He does a very good job. Kickstarter. And the reason why I said that is because there's a lot of people who are. We saw him, Greg Capullo, and I'm trying to remember the other guys.
Snyder?
Snyder, yeah. They did a Kickstarter this year. I didn't support that one because the story didn't interest me. So, what?
Damien Hernandez, sorry to change the subject. What the hell is Xbox thinking selling a real fridge?
People will buy it.
Hey,
I'd buy it.
If I win that sweepstakes, I would get that fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They gave Snoop Dogg one as a promotion thing for his birthday, and yeah, I'd have an Xbox fridge.
Sure. I would too.
Why not?
If I was established to the point where you have the main fridge, and if you had a basement downstairs, you just hung out, and it just kept beer, and hell yeah, I'd buy an Xbox fridge if it wasn't that expensive.
Yeah,
you damn right. I'm the sucker who would buy stuff like that.
As we're kind of just roaming around random topics, PlayStation 4 is almost here.
Yeah, no. Have you seen the picture? Somebody snuck into an Amazon warehouse, and there's a picture of them getting ready to ship out. There's a pallet of them.
Oh, okay.
And some people have already gotten their peripherals, like the controller, DualSense, and the remote.
Okay.
Yeah.
You getting excited yet? Or is it just kind of like, I just need to have it, and it is what it is?
Son, I was always excited.
Nah, in these past couple videos, you were like, I need to have it because my PlayStation 4 is dying. But
I was excited, but I'm like,
okay.
I'm tempering myself.
Okay.
Because they've been canceling orders left and right.
I think at this point, you're probably good if you haven't gotten it.
I don't trust nothing, sir.
All right. Fair
It's
enough.
2020.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's 2020. They could snatch that, just like a polling place. They could be like, it's closed. This ain't your polling place no more. This ain't your PlayStation. We cancel the order. How would you feel if that shit happened to you?
Honestly, I'd probably be fine.
Really?
Yeah. You know what?
I wouldn't.
Y'all know my situation. I go out and buy consoles because I'm dumb.
I wouldn't.
I would be like, I didn't get one? Okay, I'll just wait.
I'd be like,
I can't remember who told me to wait on getting a TV until next year for better deals. But Best Buy has already put up their Black Friday deals.
Yeah.
And some of them are, I'm looking at like that LG.
So there's a 75-inch screen, TCL, HK, whatever.
Yeah.
AK-47, Super Cobra TV with 9 HDMI imports.
Yeah, there's a LG LC9 or whatever that I'm thinking about getting 65-inch. Like, that's pretty good.
If my wife, I'm going to tell you right now, if I didn't already have a TV, I was buying a TV. I told her, I said straight up. Because she tried to come for me about the PlayStation. And I was like, time out. Look, I ain't buying nothing stupid. I've been eating salads. I've been doing all these things.
You say that like it's a chore.
It is. It's grass, man. I was like, because I saw a couple. I was like, 65 inches?
Stadia is not a console.
It's an idea.
Fair? Okay. Whatever.
Because that's how tangible
I spend money on video game stuff, then we'll say that.
I'm excited. I'm really excited because I want to see and I'll be honest with you, I'm not excited about the next gen games. I'm honestly more excited to play current gen games on the next gen console.
With up frame rates and stuff.
Just so I can, because they were talking about the Last of Us remastered with the new update. The load times are different. And I'm like, I just want to play Ghost of Tsushima on a PS5 and see how it looks. Because it's not like I'm going to play Cyberpunk anytime soon.
Yeah.
Make sure you wait to upgrade your home theater receiver. Keith Robinson, the one cool thing about Black Friday is they've been doing a lot of the deals where you could buy them online where you don't have to go into the store.
Yeah, I do like that.
So,
and get it shipped to your house.
Yeah, I like that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm even willing to buy it and pick it up in the store. Just like, hey, curbside. Throw that thing in the trunk, let's move.
I don't know if you guys know, but like before I got into news and went to college and all that stuff, my main job was working retail. And I kind of miss those retail days of Black Friday.
I don't.
It's hectic, but you're with a group of people that is kind of in it with you, and it's fun.
F that. I hated working retail Black Friday. Oh, I know from my patience, I don't know how I made it out without catching a charge. Because I used to work at Express for Black Friday. And let me tell you, there's nothing like after you done straightened up and folded some clothes.
Oh, that
somebody comes by and it's like...
Yeah, I can see that.
I've pushed people. And been like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
I've honestly done that. I am not built for retail anymore when it comes to stuff like that. And then two, I'm not one of those people who's like, when you come in, they're like, hey, how you doing? Well, let me tell you about the credit card. Whatever, man. Hey, let me know when you need a dressing room. I'll be right here.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of miss it sometimes. Most of the time not, but sometimes it's like, yeah, it's cool. Nah.
We'll take your ass to work part-time at Target.
I don't need no more part-time jobs. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I wish I had the money to buy the Xbox X or Xbox Series X, because everything that's from the EA stuff and all the, I really want to see how it plays.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to see how that system works.
Xbox is really going for this idea of, we don't have nothing right now, so play all this other stuff that we had.
Yeah.
It's a bold strategy.
For $14.99, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I did see the PlayStation Plus whatever lineup, and I'm not gonna lie, if you hadn't played those games, that's a great deal. Days Gone is a pretty good game, although
you got it for like $15 or something.
I got it like $15-20.
Yeah.
Although there's a couple characters that piss me off. Schizo. I have never. I'm gonna tell you right now, there are two characters in that game I don't think I've hated as much. And like, one of them's a villain. They weren't even the main villains. Like, they weren't the main villain. Like, they just like, one guy was supposedly a pacifist in the age of the zombie apocalypse. Are you lost your damn sir?
I mean, there were pacifists in Walking Dead.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna kill you if you're a pacifist. Is this the end times and you not helping pull your weight? Yeah, two to the back.
That's very intense.
I'm just being honest with you, man.
Right.
It's all the family. I'm like Negan.
Okay, all right, fair enough. New Busta.
Yeah, people still making music.
Good for them.
Alicia Keys just dropped a new album.
I was talking with somebody, and this is random because we're talking about music, and they were asking, why hasn't Tyrese made music in forever?
You know why.
He's waiting on that Fast and Furious money?
You know why.
I don't know.
He ain't got it no more.
No.
Let's be real. Let's be real. You're a music person, right? Music is one of those things where you stick to it, you stay at it. You have to be creative. You have to be in that mindset.
Yeah.
What mindset Tyrese been in the last few years?
Troubled.
Now, don't get me wrong.
He's been in a troubled mindset.
He probably could write some killer songs if he was in that mindset. But he ain't. Let's just be real. Tyrese ain't been Tyrese since Fast 5. Let's just put it out there. I'm not going to go where O'Keefe Robinson said with Tyrese crazy, but let's be real.
Yeah.
Tyrese ain't been Tyrese before The Rock pushed a torpedo in a Range Rover.
You're right. You're right.
He ain't been right. But you got people like, you got people still churning out music during COVID.
Yeah.
We saw, I don't know if you guys saw, Skinny or Fat. Good Lord, Adele. Oh.
She did a good job on SNL.
Good job.
Yeah.
That might be the best SNL I've seen in years.
Okay.
I mean, they basically made a skit for her just to sing to us.
That was your you sing just
I was like, yo, why are y'all still talking?
Yeah.
Adele is talking.
Yeah.
I mean, if Adele is not in Ocean's 8 Part 2, we riot.
Well,
The 23 of us in this chat.
I don't think Ocean's 8's Part 2's going to happen.
Oh, it needs to.
I enjoyed Ocean's 8.
I love Ocean's 8. I thought it was great.
Another one's going to happen.
I think so.
Because it didn't make no money.
Yeah, it did.
Ocean's 8?
Yeah. It didn't make Ocean's 11 money, but it made enough money because the budget was low. That movie only cost $40-50 million.
You said $40-50? I mean, yeah, okay.
I did.
$40-50.
But it only cost like $40 or $50 million. It was not an expensive. No, it wasn't even that much. I don't even think it was that much. That was a very low budget movie as far as like when you think about it.
I would be down for another Ocean's 8 movie.
That's why I was like, man, get rid of Corden.
Who replace him with who?
Adele. What did I just say? Son, did you not see Saturday Night Live?
I did.
She was awesome. And I don't care if Adele is skinny or fat. Woo! Katie, I'm just saying, if I'm on The Bachelor and Adele walks in, she getting all the roses. I'm just doing this.
I don't
doing
feel
this.
comfortable with what's happening here.
I'm just letting you know.
and I feel
We're
like
talking
I'm
about
an
music.
accomplice.
We're talking about music.
I don't feel like you are anymore.
I'm just saying.
I don't think
When
you
that
are.
woman speaks, oh, and remember she said, "Why am I not the musical guest?" And she was like, "Cause I'm not ready." And then when I was like, I heard that second song with the guitar, bro, bought her album.
Okay.
Like there are real people out there doing real music.
So, friend of the show, Lauren Michaels.
Not friend of the show.
He's not. Oh, he's not a friend of the show.
Nah, he fired some people I liked. Jenny Slate, friend of the show.
I mean,
I ain't forgot about that.
Jenny Slate, like, cursed.
And
I know you don't care. You can't be doing that on live TV on NBC. I like Jenny Slate, but you can't do that. That's not cool.
But no, I don't think Tyrese is in that mindset right now.
Okay.
And I say that in all sincerity. I would like for him to be.
Ray Sean K asks, is she your hall pass?
No comment.
There we
I'm
go.
a sucker for a woman who can sing. I'm talking sing. Not like, oh, the single lady sing. I'm talking,
Wait, is that a snap at Beyonce?
yeah, my wife ain't watching. I can do that now.
But, like, Beyonce can sing.
Oh, she can sing. She has
It's
one.
like, dang.
She has one of the best songs ever. But I'm just saying,
Okay.
Adele.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all, I think we done now.
son, do you not remember when she said, "I heard"?
Yeah.
I was in my living room. Because remember, everybody was like, I don't think she can sing. She lost all that weight. Because
Yeah.
remember, Luther couldn't sing. When everybody's like, you like skinny Luther or big Luther?
Yeah.
Everybody was asking the Adele question. You want skinny Adele or big Adele? I don't care.
There we go. Y'all, go ahead and wrap this up. Because we just circling the drain now.
Tyrese hasn't been since he stopped drinking Coke. Hey, I don't.
Oh, I was talking about that that commercial. That dude was singing.
Payjon J. I know the Hive ain't nothing to mess with, but I did it tonight because my wife ain't watching because she's part of the Hive. She's bought some Ivy Park shoes today.
Wrap this up.
She did. Nas, anytime Nas drops an album, I'm in. What got you through the week, man?
I ain't been here.
Negro, through the week period. Like,
I'm just saying. No, I haven't really been here, so I'm trying to think of what did I do. Seen the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum.
God,
That was very interesting.
why was that so hard?
I just had to think about something. I was like, I hadn't really done anything. I hadn't got a chance to play my Avengers because I was gone, and I didn't take my PlayStation with me. So
The game ain't that good anyway, so
Shut up.
You ain't missed nothing.
yeah, seen the Rock.
How
and
you
Roll
had
Hall
to
of Fame
think
Museum.
about the Rock and Roll Museum? Like, it didn't leave an impression on you like that?
Parts of it did.
Really?
Yeah. Parts of it were really cool. Just like, and the fact that Biggie's going in this year is really cool. Biggie and Whitney Houston are two of the people going in this year.
They putting early Whitney, they putting late Whitney in.
This is early Whitney.
Okay, I'm just checking. I ain't want them to shame Whitney or nothing. I'm like,
Yes.
don't put Wendy Williams Whitney on there. Go up there, Cleveland, and burn that whole thing down. Disrespectful. That woman sung the national anthem. Killed it. That's another one. See, there are people who have real son.
Ray Sean K says you mean Bobby Brown, Whitney.
Yeah.
Hey, according to the documentary, Whitney did that to Bobby Brown, not Bobby Brown.
They did it
I'm just
together.
saying,
They did it together.
It wasn't just Bobby Brown.
I will say this. Chris Rock, he said some stupid stuff. Chris Rock said the best thing ever. A crackhead and a Christian can't make it, but two crackheads can stay together forever. Those were two crackheads. And they were together forever.
Till death.
Till death. Jack White, when he did Saturday Night Live's music this year has been on point. I'm not a real big fan of their comedy a lot of times, except for Weekend Update. But Jack White, go back and watch his performances. Those were pretty damn good. I'm trying to think who else did a pretty good job on music-wise. I gotta admit, music this year has been pretty good.
You gonna say bye?
We got Little Brother this year. Check out that Little Brother album. Trying to think who else. Who else had good music this year?
You're about to end this. You're about to end this thing.
Say what?
I'm about to end this stream.
Don't end it.
You're just circling the drain.
I'm just saying, man. We talking to the people, man. All right, man. We out.